Last night, 4 lucky Americans had dinner with the President of the United States, a retired school teacher, a small business owner, U.S. postal worker, and a retired college professor. The big dinner was at Liberty Tavern in Arlington, Virginia, and it lasted about an hour. The Obama campaign had taken entries for Dinner with Barack for 3 months. The raffle was open to all supporters. The Obama campaign paid for one night in a hotel and the flights from Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, and Minnesota. And after dinner, President Obama tweeted, "This dinner is important because I'm only president thanks to the work of millions of Americans just like the 4 I just met." All 4 of these lucky raffle winners join us tonight here on The Ed Show. Let's bring in Minnesota small business owner Casey Helbling, U.S. Postal Service letter carrier Kenneth Knight, retired public school teacher Juanita Martinez, and retired college professor Wendy Smith. Great to have all of you with us tonight. I've had lunch with the president once, and it's kind of goofy going in there. You know, you're a little bit nervous, wondering how this thing going to work out. I would imagine that's what all of you felt last night. But Casey, let me ask you first. What did you want to ask the president? What kind of questions, what kind of conversation did you have with him?
Sure. Yeah, we were very nervous, but as soon as we sat down, he completely put everybody at ease, and he was just really easy to talk to. We actually had about an hour and 15 minutes for dinner, and at the end of dinner, he offered us dessert, and we actually all turned him down. Surprisingly, I couldn't believe that we did that, but. So we had so much time to talk with him. I asked him about his day. What does a normal day look like? And kind of the most surprising thing to me was when he's talked about at the end of the day at about 6:30. When he gets to go upstairs and hang out with Michelle and the kids, and from like 6:30 to 8:30, he gets to have dinner and unwind and do homework, and you just get to have a little family time. And so that was really striking.
It was pretty personal then, wasn't it? It sounds like it.
Well, we had a lot of time, so we covered a lot of different issues, but yeah we did get to get into some of the personal things too. So.
All right. Ken, what was on your mind visiting with the president?
Well, first of all, I thanked him for his service to our country for the last 3 years, and I actually asked him what negative effects not having a father in his life played with him or had on him as he grew up, and I thought he was real honest. He at first said that you don't know what you don't have, and as he grew up, he found out that other kids had something that he didn't have, and then he kind of brought it all together and said that if the way he thought of it was that. If his father wasn't there, he wouldn't have ever gone to a jazz concert, and he got him his first basketball. But he said his father also had some issues, and he felt that that just made him think better about being a better father for his kids.
Juanita, you're a public school teacher. I'm anxious to know what kind of conversation you had with the president. Juanita, what'd you ask him?
You know, it wasn't so much a question and answer period. It was more just like having dinner with a nice next door neighbor that you like, or a cousin or someone. But I did talk to him about education. I'm a retired teacher, but I still have lots of friends that are teachers, and a couple of my sons are in education, and just the need for more funding. We just need to educate our youth.
Did you get
so he was concerned about that.
Yeah. Juanita, did you get a sense that he was pretty frustrated not being able to help out teachers right now?
I think a little bit, but he's also so upbeat, and I think he wants us to be encouraged, and he wants us to go back to our states and encourage other people. I don't think he's the kind of person that dwells too much on being, or at least showing his disappointment. He just wants to keep going and making things better.
Wendy, did you...
And, I got to tell you...
yeah, go ahead.
I got to tell you that I just want to reiterate what Casey said. We were nervous wrecks after they showed us the table and where we were going to sit. But then he walks in the back door and he said, "Hello, everybody." And he walked over to us like he couldn't wait to meet us. And he shook our hands and called us by our first names, and we sat down and just ate dinner and talked.
Wendy, did you?
It was amazing.
What kind of sense did you get from the dinner last night, Wendy?
Oh, he was just a gracious, really wonderful person, and the person that I worked for in the 2008 campaign that I volunteered for. He was everything. He was all that.
How much politics was in the conversation in the night?
We did a little bit. We sort of dissed some people, but he kept it on the up and up. He's such a good guy. We wanted to kind of get down, but he didn't. So the thing that I asked him about was higher education and college loans, and he has this sort of approach, and I felt real confident that he's got a handle on it. In fact, there was nothing we asked him last night that he didn't have a handle on. He's quite an amazing fellow.
Juanita, was he the same guy you voted for?
Yes, he sure was.
Wendy,
sure was.
Wendy, what do you think?
It was amazing.
Same guy you voted for?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Casey, what politically, did you have anything that you really wanted to ask him that maybe you didn't get to?
Not really. We got to spend some time talking about health care and the economy, and his big point was that we got to take care of the housing market and what's going on there first. So that actually hit home. I completely agree with that, and so I was just like, that was awesome that he'd just have these frank conversations with him and just tell you straight out that, yep, number one thing we got to take care of is this. Number two is this. So.
Did he talk about the re-election campaign at all?
We briefly touched on it. It was sort of in passing and part of another conversation, I think.
Ken, your expectations, having dinner with the president, were they met?
Oh, they were more than met. He was, as everybody said, that he was really gracious. He was funny. He asked me about my mom when I first walked in. Obviously, the people that he talked to had prepped him on our lives a little bit. And that's the first thing he asked about is my mom and the fact that she lives in Sedona, Arizona, and she has had some health problems. But like everybody said, he was just it was really amazing just to sit down with a regular guy.
That's great. Ken Knight, Casey Helbling, Juanita Martinez, and Wendy Smith. Great to have you on the Ed Show tonight.